Happy 2020. Welcome to the Daily Rewind, brought to you by thisdayinbaseball.com. My name's Tom Hannon, and I'm your host. Today's Rewind is about two Hall of Famers getting traded for each other. On January 2nd, 1918, the Pittsburgh Pirates acquire outfielder Casey Stengel and infielder George Cutshaw from the Brooklyn Robins for three players, pitcher Burleigh Grimes, Al Maximus, and infielder Chuck Ward. Stengel will play only 2 seasons for the Pirates before moving on to Philadelphia, but will eventually enjoy his true success as a manager. Grimes will win 158 games during his 9-year stint with Brooklyn and pitch in the 1920 World Series that Brooklyn lost to Cleveland when he went 1-2 over 3 starts. His most wins in a season, though, will be back in Pittsburgh in 1928, when he will go 25-14 and finish third in the MVP race. He's going to follow up that campaign in 1929 and finish fourth in the MVP race. Grimes, over his career, will win 270 games versus 212 losses when wins and losses were a thing for pitchers. He played for 6 different NL franchises, and he had a short stint with the Yankees. Grimes, known as Old Stubblebeard, will be inducted into Cooperstown in 1964 by the Veterans Committee. Stengel, of course, will earn his fame managing the New York Yankees from 1949 to 1960. During that time, he's going to bring the Yankees to the World Series 10 times and win 7 World Series titles. He will win 1,900 games over his amazing managing career. Stengel was dubbed the Old Professor, will be enshrined in Cooperstown 2 years after Grimes in 1966 by the Veterans Committee as well. Now, I have something special for you that's an interview with Burleigh Grimes. Listen to him talk about his playing days, Babe Ruth, and how he hated managing teams, and the great players that he signed when he was a scout for the New York Yankees. And if you want to check out more facts from January 2nd, go on to thisdayinbaseball.com, January 2nd, and you're going to see hundreds of cool facts, birthdays, and players who departed us on that day. Enjoy the interview.
How did you get involved with the Pittsburgh Pirates? How did you...
Well, I went through the mini league and through the Wisconsin League and through the Southern League, and Cap Neal bought me at Birmingham.
Yes.
When I went to Pittsburgh.
Yes. And did they have scouts then, Mr. Grimes?
Oh, yes. Yeah, they had scouts, not many, but a few.
They did?
Yes.
And did one of the scouts...
One of the scouts bought me.
Bought you?
By the name, first fellow that bought me was a fellow by the name of Jim McGuire.
Yes. Yes.
Was with Detroit. Detroit bought me. And then a load of logs went over top of me, and the Southern League guys waivers on me. Chattanooga did, and Birmingham claimed me.
Yes.
So that's how I got to Birmingham.
Okay. Okay.
And then Cap Neal, Pittsburgh scout, bought me from Birmingham to Pittsburgh.
Yes. Yes. Now, Mr. Grimes, you won 13 games in a row for the Giants.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. That's a tremendous achievement.
Well, in the springtime, I'd won 3 and lost 4. McGraw said I wasn't no spring pitcher, so he took me out of the lineup. And Roger Bresnahan was a coach, and he said, "Now you keep in good shape," because he said, "You don't know when he's going to grab you and put you back in there." So in Cincinnati, he put me in relief, and I did a good job.
Yes.
And from then on, I started regular.
Yes. Yes. And were you a relief pitcher for some time, Mr. Grimes?
Oh, sometimes I relieve, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But of course, when you won the 13 games in a row, you finished all those games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tremendous achievement, 13 games in a row.
Yeah, Hubble did it later on.
Yes, yeah. I wanted to ask you about the World Series. You played in 9 World Series.
No, not 9.
Not 9?
No, 4.
4. Were you very nervous pitching in the World Series?
No, not when you get the ball in your hand, you ain't nervous.
Yes.
Waiting for it a little bit, you're nervous at.
Yeah, Because there's a lot of pressure on you. You want to win the series.
Yeah. Well, you want to win your game anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, after you pitched with the Giants, Mr. Grimes, you went back to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
That's right.
How come the change back to the Pirates? What happened there?
They traded me for a pitcher. McGraw wanted me to stay there, but Stoneham wouldn't give me any more money, and I said I won't stay any longer here.
Yes.
So they traded me to Pittsburgh for Vic Aldrich.
Ah, yes, yes. And you stayed with Pittsburgh for 1 year?
Yeah, for 2 years.
2 years, okay. And what was your salary then, Mr. Grimes? Let's see how it moved.
I got it up to 18,000-20,000 then.
That was a lot of money then.
Yeah.
During the Depression.
Yes, sir.
And how did you find when you were pitching during the Depression, did a lot of fans still come to the baseball park? Or?
Oh, yes. There was lots of, always filled up. Brooklyn, that always filled that up. We drew real good.
Yes, yes. Would you have known Babe Ruth at all, Mr. Grimes?
Well, he worked for me. He coached for me at Brooklyn.
That's right. When you managed Brooklyn, he coached for you.
The last year, yeah.
Yeah. Tell me a little about Babe Ruth. My students and I would like to hear about him.
Well, I don't know too much about him. You've read everything there is about him.
Yes. Yeah.
So I don't know nothing new.
I don't know what else you could add.
No.
Now, when you managed the Dodgers in 37 and 38.
Yeah.
How did you enjoy that? And tell me a little about managing the Dodgers.
Oh, I didn't enjoy it at all because I didn't have no money and I didn't have many ball players.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Branch Rickey was involved with you?
Oh, no, he wasn't there yet. That is before he got there.
Yeah, yeah.
Because McPhail come there before Rickey got there.
I see. And then you also scouted for the New York Yankees, didn't you, Mr. Grimes?
Yeah, I pitched for them for about 4 months, from Decoration Day to Labor Day.
Yes, yes. Now, you pitched for them. You also were a scout for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 10 years about.
10 years, boy. What a wonderful career you've had, Mr. Grimes.
Yeah, I got some pretty good ball players for them.
Yeah, tell me who you got for the Yankees.
Well, I got Moose Scourin.
Yes.
And Bob Richardson.
Yes.
I had a piece of Boyer.
Sure. Cleet Boyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good players, Mr. Grimes, all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful players. Wonderful players.
I hope you enjoyed that interview. I sure did. And it was just amazing to listen to him talk about old-time baseball, Babe Ruth, and just how he hated managing because he didn't have any players. It was a really fantastic interview. Now, you want to be sure to check out our show notes. We have links to player biography pages January 2nd, and you can catch up on details you may have missed. And please subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts to enjoy all our future shows. And again, I'm Tom Hannon. Thanks for listening to the Daily Rewind, brought to you by thisdayinbaseball.com.